What's your favorite scary story?
Hi, hello, and hey, what's up?
Hey, the witch is here. Hey, how does it go?
Not like that. It's the witch is dead, the wicked witch. The wicked witch is dead.
Hey, how does it go though?
That's all.
The wicked witch? No.
I'm not getting paid for
Anyways,
this.
we're not getting paid at all.
That's what I said. Welcome back. This is What's Your Favorite Scary Story?
Back. Hey.
And I'm Alyssa.
I'm Marlene, and I also realized that we did not clap last episode.
We gotta make up for it.
Hello, welcome back. So today's episode
is chaotic.
A little bit.
How was your day?
It's good. I think it's good. I've had an eventful week
better
already.
now.
It's better now, yes.
Yeah, you're on your third marg.
Third marg, yes.
Going good. We got our new dog, Marnie. We haven't even introduced.
You know what?
Our newest intern.
No, and the reason we didn't do that was because I was in shock. And when you mentioned her last week, I was like, I'm not ready to talk about this. I really wasn't. I was
I'm
like,
so
what
sorry.
the fuck did we do?
It definitely is a big adjustment.
Yeah, it's been stressful.
We love her. We got her groomed today, so she's officially a real pet now.
Yeah, just the same way that Alyssa officially got her last name changed.
So we're officially married now.
Yeah, this whole time I was telling her, like, nope.
The whole wedding thing in California, the honeymoon in England, in Scotland. It was just for fun.
It didn't count. It didn't. I mean, if the last name change isn't real, then you're not my wife.
So if you guys are out there and you think you're married, but you don't have the same last name as your spouse, you're wrong.
You're not.
I guess.
Yeah. Honestly, for all I know, you could be doing your own thing, like opening up new credit cards without me knowing.
I was going to say, so does this mean we get to have a joint bank account now?
I mean, I think the responsible, a couple thing to do is to do that, but we get to do whatever we want.
Except for have different last names, I guess.
Except for have different last names. If we're going to be married.
Making sure I understand.
Yeah, if you're going to be my wife, you have to have my last name,
Mm-hmm.
Yo, my mom was so excited about you being Ramirez. And now you actually are, Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. But yeah, I got a new social security card. It's really weird. It's in pristine condition, and I've never known that life with a social security card.
Yeah.
That's not a crumpled up piece of paper. So it's weird.
Congratulations.
I feel like a new person.
You are a new person. Every 7 years that your cells regenerate.
I was going to say, I just regenerate like a lizard or something.
Yeah. I mean, It's every 7 years that your skin cells
oh, right.
Make it out.
Actual science.
Yeah. It's every 7 years. So if someone touched your body 6 years ago, which is very likely, we've been together for 5 years. So whoever touched your body 6 years ago, you have one more year for that skin they touched, those cells they touched.
So then,
right.
So the next year I can say, that person never touched me. I don't know what you're talking about.
And technically that would be true. Yes.
Okay. I'll be ready for that argument then with this fact.
Yeah.
Speaking.
It goes the same way with they touched you, they kissed you, you guys swapped cells essentially. So their cells are in you.
Oh no.
Whoever you had a romantic relationship with before me, they're still technically in you.
So speaking of weird science facts, do you want to go for your not so fun fact?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Not so fun facts with marbles. So this not so fun fact isn't necessarily sciency as that cell one. I mean, it could have been, but I don't have to share my fact. It could just be that weird
let's
cell
hear it.
one.
Let's hear it.
So in honor of LAFC fucking bombing this season and losing 5-2 their last game. Team. I found this interesting story about the goal that changed everything is what it was titled.
I bet it did.
So in the 1994 FIFA World Cup, this is interesting. Please bear with me. If you don't like sports, I totally get it. But this is an interesting one. If you like our podcast, you would like this. So just bear with me. So in 1994's FIFA World Cup, Colombia was up against the United States, right, on June 22nd in 1994, a crucial match against us. This soccer player in the Colombian soccer team, Escobar, he accidentally deflected the ball into his own net while attempting to block a cross.
The worst, man.
And Colombia lost 2-1, sealing their early elimination from the tournament in general. So, just 10 days after this goal on July 2nd, Mr. Andres Escobar was at a nightclub and he got into an argument with a group of men over the match. And after leaving the club, he was confronted by them, and one of them pulled a gun and shot him 6 times.
Oh my God.
While allegedly shouting, "Goal!"
Oh my God.
For every shot, mocking the goal that he
Damn.
accidentally made on his own team.
So I'm sorry, I just need to keep up. So the goalie that accidentally scored on his own team, he's the one with the gun?
I'm not sure if he was the goalie. I feel like he could have just been like a player.
So whoever made that mistake, though.
Whoever made the mistake.
He had the gun and shot the guy? Or he got shot?
The player that accidentally scored on his own net. Ultimately giving the other team the point.
Right, yes, I understand
that guy got shot.
He got shot.
He got shot 6 times.
Oh my God.
And the guy that was shooting the soccer player was allegedly shouting "goal" after every shot.
Was he another soccer player?
No. So apparently,
or a fan?
I don't know. You tell me. So Colombia had high hopes for its national team that even Pablo Escobar, everyone knows Pablo Escobar.
I know the name, yes.
Drug lord. Colombia, okay. He reportedly took a deep interest in the Colombian soccer team's performance and was heavily invested in it, investing like millions of dollars. Oops, sorry.
Wow, how disrespectful.
Investing millions of dollars into illegal gambling for Colombia, hoping they'd win and stuff. And because that goal eliminated them from the tournament in general, many of the gamblers lost huge amounts of money. So allegedly, Pablo Escobar was one of them, and these group of men that was bullying the soccer player and allegedly, eventually shot and killed him. That's how they were saying that.
So it's like probably sense. One of the people gambling that Colombia was going to win.
Yeah, that lost the money, that was angry at the guy and just shot him. And he was rushed to the hospital, but he died shortly after. And he was only 27 years old. So,
well, maybe you shouldn't bet your whole freaking life savings on a soccer match. That's on you, bro.
Hey, you'd be surprised how many people actually gamble, sports gamble.
No, I know, but that's on you.
Yeah, I get it. So frustrating. So basically, the guy who shot the soccer player was sentenced to 43 years in prison, but he was released after 11 years for good behavior. And this soccer death, sent shockwaves through the soccer world, but mainly in Colombia. And it really just reflected on how dangerous just the fanatic world could be, and just how people devote
how
their time and money into this stuff.
It affects them as a person. Yeah. Apparently. It turns them into freaking murderers.
And so now every year on July 2nd, fans and family honor the soccer player's memory, and his legacy just remains a tragic reminder of how a game meant to bring joy can turn deadly when money and violence take over, And since then, Colombia's been trying to clean up the soccer culture. Sorry. The soccer culture.
Soccer culture?
But it's just it's just burned into it and just remains one of the most heartbreaking reminders and stories of just soccer and their country in general.
Wow, that is not fun.
Yeah, for a soccer a soccer thing. You know, soccer's fun. You know, you just freaking have some food, have some Doritos and dip, and have a beer or something, and just enjoy the fucking game.
For like a mistake that like the most like skilled and like successful athlete could make, because I'm sure it was just like,
it was a mistake.
You know, it was like he like, you know, slipped the wrong way or something. Right. Like, yes, make it better with ASMR. Is it okay? I made this mark. It tastes really good, actually. Good. I'm glad. I shook it and everything.
Yeah, I heard. Alyssa makes like the best drinks.
I do, for someone that doesn't drink.
Yes. I'm like, how do you even know? Like,
I don't even taste it afterwards. I'm like, well, she likes alcohol. It doesn't matter if it's too strong.
That's literally what she said. She was like, I'm not sure how much alcohol I put in this, but you like alcohol, so I'm like, I do, but still, like.
My plan was like a shot and a half, right? Because it's a small glass. And then after I was starting to put the pineapple juice in, I was like, I can't remember if that second one was a half shot or a full shot. And I genuinely don't know.
It's fine.
And so I was like, well, a shot and a half compared to 2 shots, it's not like the end of the world.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, actually, Joey gave me a prickly pear, ranch water. What's it called? They're like seltzers. They call them like ranch water.
I feel like I've heard that term.
They call them ranch waters, but it's just a fucking seltzer. It's a prickly pear seltzer.
Like in a can?
It was really good, yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. Cool.
Anyway.
Should I tell a story now?
Yes.
Okay. So this week's story was suggested by Jordan from North Carolina. Thank you, Jordan.
Jordan. Is this your cousin?
No.
Oh.
No, it's a different Jordan. This is a girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she suggested the story of Lacey Fletcher. Do you know her?
I don't think I do, actually.
Oh. Well, speaking of true crime, this is going to be another true crime story today.
Oh, good.
And it is a sad one, keeping up with the theme. And it kind of like hits a little bit harder because this story it was happening for a long time, but it just came out like a few years ago.
Okay.
So it's pretty fresh. So on January 3rd, 2022, 36-year-old Lacey Fletcher's parents found her dead on their couch.
Oh no.
All right, so backing up to when Lacey was younger, like a kid, according to her parents, she was on the autism spectrum. She did have autism spectrum disorder, which does include what used to be called Asperger's syndrome, but we don't use that term anymore.
Right.
It comes from a bad place. But that is what Lacey had, according to her mother, Sheila.
Actually, if I may be correct, and correct me if I am wrong, but I think the Asperger's does come from something we always end up talking about, but I believe
Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it does. You're not clapping for Nazi Germany.
No, I
refuse. Sorry.
No. I meant that clap as in like I was correct. You know?
were correct. Good
because
job.
I always end up talking about it. I always end up.
You're the one that told me about that coming from there. I don't know.
Does everything just reflect?
Just go back to Nazi Germany?
Is that what's going on?
I mean, look at the state of the country now.
Like, I'm not even like, I am like 100% like fuck Nazis 100%.
Good,
you know?
good.
But why is it
always relevant?
And I was not clapping for Nazis, so no one fucking
Thank you for
twist
clarifying.
that shit.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, fuck them. Anyway, but I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, so yeah, Lacey was had autism spectrum disorder, and it's just a broad term for like different levels.
Yes, now.
Yes. But, of course, people on the spectrum can lead totally normal and fulfilling lives, as we all know.
Of course.
According to neighbors, Lacey was a fun kid. She was into sports, specifically volleyball. And she had lots of friends that would always like come over for play dates and stuff.
I had a roommate that was the autism spectrum.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was very not pleasant to be around 100% of the time. He was also an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was just, you can just imagine what, it was uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. He was still a very nice guy. It was just when he started drinking, he just was not very nice.
I mean, not everyone is equipped to live full time, with someone on the spectrum. Like, it just isn't always a good fit.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, alcoholism, I'm sure, definitely added a factor
you'd think
to that
so, right?
situation. Yeah.
We're not medical professionals or anything,
No, I'm sorry. We're just talking.
Yeah. I mean, I also lived with it, so
right.
I can tell that when he
You
drank.
can tell your experience, yeah. But yeah, people did start to notice that Lacey's friends were like going over to her house less and less frequently, like compared to normal. And by the age of 14, Lacey's autism, I guess, started to like progress, and then she ended up being homeschooled after 9th grade.
Dang.
Going forward, Lacey would become very recluse and wouldn't go outside much. She would sometimes be seen exercising out front, though. Around the age of 21, Lacey was seen exercising out front by a close neighbor of the family, Robert Blades, and that was the last time anyone saw her.
In front of her neighbor's house?
In front of her house working out. Now, if you remember, so this was when she was 21, but if you remember, Lacey's parents found her dead on the couch at the age of 36. So what was going on for those 15 years?
I think I'm familiar with this story.
I was wondering if you might have heard of it because it's so like recent. We'll see. You probably know it. Okay, so when Lacey's mother, Sheila, called to report her deceased daughter, she told the 911 operator that her daughter had stopped breathing, which I guess is technically true, but there is a lot more than that to Lacey's death. You see, for at least 12 of those 15 years that Lacey was not seen by neighbors or friends, she was melting into her couch.
Fuck yeah, I know the story.
Yeah. Not a good one.
Yeah.
Yes. When authorities found Lacey, she was completely fused to the family's couch. So what the heck happened, right? Like what? Yeah. Well, after some investigation, it was discovered that Lacey had locked-in syndrome, a rare neurological disorder characterized by complete paralysis of voluntary muscles in almost all parts of the body except for the eyes.
Like, you have to think about, like, what were the parents...
Babe, we got a whole story.
Okay,
I'm gonna stop you. I think I have permission to stop you when needed.
Yes, you do, yeah.
We're gonna talk about things, I promise. So yeah, Lacey's body had not moved from that couch in 12 years. Or I should say her parents did not move her from that couch at all for 12 years. Because obviously she couldn't move.
I mean, I have so many questions right now.
So, I guess it's not surprising that they also didn't take care of her, really, like, at all.
Right.
When Lacey was discovered, she was just covered in her own urine and feces. The officers on the scene said when they entered the house, they were just completely overwhelmed with the stench. The neglect Lacey faced led to multiple health complications. She had chronic malnutrition as well as acute starvation, so obviously she was barely being fed. So her body was emaciated and also covered in ulcers from being on the couch for years without being properly cared for. She had maggots on her and parts of her bones were exposed.
What the fuck, dude?
How does that even happen? Oh my God. So, Lacey's mother, Sheila, kept bringing up her autism spectrum disorder, which she very well could have had, but that doesn't like cause immobility.
Right.
She just kept bringing it up, which also, by the way, I didn't really spend much time on it, but it was never brought up of like an actual diagnosis for Lacey. it was kind of just like word of mouth by Sheila. But yeah.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So remember, Lacey had locked-in syndrome. So what causes locked-in syndrome? Well, it primarily damage to the ventral pons in the brainstem, most commonly resulting from a stroke that affects this area. And other potential causes include traumatic brain injury, tumors, infections, and certain neurological diseases like multiple sclerosis that damage the myelin sheath surrounding nerve cells. Well, it was never discovered what caused Lacey's locked-in syndrome, or it was never revealed, at least.
Yeah, or if it ever existed.
Well, something caused it to make her not 100%. Move.
Yeah.
But
because that was my question. Like, how? Okay, so she was last seen working out, and then all of a sudden, just like immobility.
Like, was there like an injury that happened in to her brain to cause the locked-in syndrome? You know,
who knows?
It's definitely
what
shady.
What the fuck? It's so sus.
So, interestingly, in 2010, 12 years before Lacey was discovered, her parents went to a doctor's office without Lacey asking for advice. They were saying how she was increasingly not wanting to leave the house, not wanting to leave the couch, and that she had just become a total recluse.
Nah, bro.
And I don't know if this part's true, but also saying how she was just going to the bathroom on herself.
No, that they're it's an alibi.
Mm-hmm. Well,
we tried to help her.
Yeah, well, the doctor told Lacey's parents to bring her into the hospital because she might need to be hospitalized, because to be cared for.
You'd think that that's what the parents would actually do versus going to speak to a professional.
Right. But yeah, she was they never came back. She was never admitted, and there was no treatment provided for her, obviously.
Yeah. Jesus.
So, just a few more details that make this story even sadder. Their close neighbor Robert, the one that saw her working out.
Right.
Well, he did ask about Lacey after not seeing her for years, probably about 7 years. He asked Lacey's dad, Clay. He said, "How is Lacey? How's she doing? Has she moved off, went to college, or what?" Clay replied, "Oh no, she's still here. She's fine." And then I guess he changed the subject.
Of course he
didn't even try to explain why no one had seen her or anything. And supposedly another neighbor saw Lacey on the couch like that, I guess through a window maybe, and told her parents that they needed to call the police or emergency services. But that is an alleged fact, so I don't know that for sure. One thing that is for certain though is that Lacey's parents were away on a weekend trip when she passed away.
Fuck.
So, when authorities arrived after the 911 call, Lacey's father, Clay, was completely emotionless, and her mother, Sheila, was sitting down with her head on her lap, weeping a little bit.
You'd have to think about, the parents. I mean, how often do they do this? And...
do what?
Leave her.
Yeah, go on trips.
Yeah, and then come back and they're like, fuck. Yeah. Fuck. But the fact that she actually passed away and they expected... They called 911 saying, "Hey, this happened and this person is not alive. Come help," and expect not to get in trouble because...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's still clearly under their care.
And just the fact that, both of them are okay with this situation.
Did they just expect no one to question them?
But that's always, brought up, too, in, true crime, when it's, two people doing true crime together, or, plotting a murder. It's, that's, pretty ballsy to just, bring up that in conversation to someone. Hey, so, what if we did this? And, just gauging their response. And, there's two people that have found each other that are, both okay with murdering someone.
Right.
You know? It's wild. How are, did they love their daughter?
And it's like, oh God,
all?
babe, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I've been thinking about like
how does that
up? You're right. Like, what the fuck?
Like, not one of them was like, we should probably like clean her up. No, like,
right, like at least being like, I have to clean her this time. Like, can you at least help me, babe?
Yeah,
like something, you know. Like they were both like, yo, let's just leave her to rot. You know, like let's just leave her. Like that's crazy.
I know.
Dude.
I know.
Oh my God.
Like thinking about my mom like doing anything even remotely close to that, I could never imagine.
No, dude, no.
Oh my God,
that's wild. Damn.
I know.
All right. Well, let's keep learning about these awful people.
So, Clay and Sheila Fletcher
can go both fuck themselves.
Yes, but not well because they don't deserve it.
Yeah, with a prickly pear.
Oh my God. Okay. So, I don't want to get too graphic.
Okay, sorry.
So, Clay and Sheila Fletcher were pretty much arrested right away on a second-degree murder charge.
Good.
But were each released within 36 hours on a $300,000 bond.
Released on a $300,000 bond?
Yeah, because they were just in jail. Like, that's how it works. But they
released themselves? Like, they got bonded out?
Yeah.
$300,000?
And they couldn't fucking care for their daughter. Yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
So $600,000.
Like, who has that kind of money just laying, $500,000 just laying around? Like, oh yeah, I'll bail us out, babe. What the fuck are they doing? They couldn't hire, like, someone to take care of her? Nope. Oh, this is pissing me off. Yep. I'm sorry.
But obviously, they weren't off the hook. They had gotten out of jail, but they were still responsible for their daughter dying. Their charge ended up getting changed to manslaughter, and they entered a no contest plea because, they're guilty. So Sheila and Clay Fletcher both ended up being sentenced to 20 years in prison, which honestly I don't think is enough.
Why do they give like these murderers just a very lenient charge?
Yeah, when it's like when drug dealers are going away for the same amount of time, like it's wild.
Like, yeah, I feel like, I mean, not literally. Hey, yeah. I don't know. I feel like that saying this makes me feel weird, but like, like I feel like I wouldn't have that kind of luck. If I was to kill someone, they'd be like, "Oh, just lock her up, like fucking life in prison, kind of thing, like forevers and ever."
I think it's because it's manslaughter. Like manslaughter is treated differently than murder because it was neglect. They didn't actively kill her, you know.
But they did. They knowingly killed her.
That's just the way the system sees it. Like, neglect is different than, like, taking a knife and stabbing someone in the heart, you know?
That's crazy. Like, they knowingly were like, okay, we're going to do this, and, like, whatever happens, happens, right? Like, if she dies, she dies, right?
Like, the fact that her bones were exposed, how does that even
happen? Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, that shit's planned.
How does that happen? I don't understand.
Planned. Isn't that, like, manslaughter still, if it's planned and you kill someone?
It wasn't planned. It was just, it's literally neglect.
It's neglect.
It's not doing anything about it.
It's neglect, but, like, they were, like, they
like maybe going away for the weekend.
I'm not saying they are just to cover
like maybe asses, going away for the weekend and then they came back like, oh no, our daughter's dead, kind of thing.
Oh no, our table. It's broken. You know, kind of thing. I just feel like it's just crazy. Like,
yeah, but
like I wouldn't have that kind of luck.
No,
the next guy wouldn't have that kind of luck. Like, they just seem to have just fucking leniency for some reason. Are they white?
Of course they are.
Of course. Yeah. But I mean, like, that could have been anybody.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely not enough. But I'm just going to end things with one more quote from their neighbor, Robert. It's a little bit long.
Okay.
But he says, "I'm shocked about what happened to that baby. I don't believe anybody around here had any idea. She was a sweet girl. I wouldn't treat my dogs like that. I would have cried like a baby if I'd seen her like that. That's just unspeakable. My heart goes out to Lacey. I'm saddened to the bone. If I had known, I would have called authorities. I wouldn't have had a choice. We have an obligation to each other as humans." But then he also said, I pray for Clay and Sheila. I don't hate them. I know that God is going to hold us all fully accountable for what we do. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I don't think they are cold-blooded murderers. I think they made some bad decisions. Sheila and Clay were well-liked people around here. Church every Sunday. As far as I know, they were fine and upstanding. I never in my wildest dreams thought there was anything wrong over there. And that was the tragic story of Lacey Fletcher.
I don't like that comment. And I'm gonna
The end of his quote.
The whole quote in general.
Quote.
I don't like him. I don't like Robert. I do not stand Robert. Robert sounds like he has a rubber toe. I understand.
It's because
and look, I fear this too. Like, if I ever have a kid with a disability, like, do I even have it in me? Mm-hmm. And I get it. I understand feeling sorry for someone who has to take care of someone like that. I get it.
But clearly they had the money to get help with it. Yes,
and why did they not reach out?
Exactly.
Like, and then that's obviously where we're drawing the line. Like, yeah, sure, we get it and we sympathize with you.
It's because I feel like something shady happened that made her immobile like that they didn't want to have to explain. Like, what if the dad got mad one day and, like, hit her across the head and it, like, I don't know science. I'm bad at science and everything smart like that. Right. And it just flipped a switch and caused locked-in syndrome.
And, but, like, there's, like, hell.
You could even lie. You can lie about what caused that, you know?
And there's, like, hell. But the thing is that there's hella wives out there who will literally pimp out their children, you know, to their, like, their step fathers. And, like, it's just a whole, this is why I hate humans. Mm-hmm. Like, the fucking world is just fucked up. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, you're absolutely right. And then there's just all these other fucking possibilities that's like, anything could have happened to her, and the dad probably did something fucking awful to her and just, like, knocked her out because she was screaming while it was happening, or she probably told her mom.
Well, I mean, and we don't even know if it's, like, to that extent.
We don't know anything. We don't know anything. I mean, this is all alleged, but that's just where my mind went. Because, like, why else would she have?
Honestly, you could have said she slipped down the stairs. Not that, like, I condone if they did anything to her, but, like, just so that she could at least still have, like, somewhat of a life if she is, like, can't move for the rest of it. 12 years of being stuck on that couch with your parents just acting like you barely fucking exist. Oh, that poor girl. No, oh my God, that breaks my heart so much. Thanks a lot, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan. No, it just sucks that, like, anything could have happened to this girl and she was just left to literally rot at this point. Yeah.
She had maggots on her.
Nah, dude. Nah, that's fucking foul, dude.
Damn.
Well, thanks for your story, Jordan.
Yeah. I don't know how to end this. This is a sad one. This has got sadder.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Prepared for. At least, you know, at the end of the day, they served their time. They did their time. Yeah. They're doing their time. I'm not sure what the update on any of this is.
I mean, supposedly, I don't know when, like, if it started yet, but they were sentenced. But again, this just came out 3 years ago. So.
And, you know, like, the best thing about being sentenced, and I think, like, sometimes we hold, like, grudges and hatred towards people that do awful crimes and stuff. But the best thing, if they get, or if they were released, or when they get released, if this pisses you off that they're, like, they're not going away scot-free because this remains a stain on their person. Mm-hmm. So, like, everywhere they go, they're just going to be this person to everyone they ever meet.
Right. They can't just go, like, back to their neighborhood and just say, hey, when they're getting the mail to their neighbors, like normal.
So even if they do their time,
that's true.
You know, like, let them do their time. But at the end of the day, Like, you still have a choice to hate them, and you're absolutely right to hate them. And it's just a stain on their life, you know. And it is what it is.
They did it to themselves.
They did it to themselves, so it's
they
just,
deserve every bit.
Yeah, it's
of
hard
what
to
they're
feel
gonna
bad
get.
about that. So, it is what it is, and it's an awful and a good story to kind of give it recognition, you know, and
rest in peace to Lacey. Justice for Lacey. We love you, girl. You did not deserve that, and we hope you're resting peacefully.
Yeah.
Damn.
Rip. Well,
do you want to like go cuddle some cats or something and our dog and make our night better? Because what the hell was that?
Absolutely. I have one update. On things.
Okay.
So I was scrolling through the interwebs yesterday, and you might have heard of this, might have not, but you know, Aaron Goodwin, Ghost Adventures. Mm-hmm. His wife was arrested.
Oh, damn.
His wife was arrested because cops say she tried hiring a hitman to have him killed.
What? Poor Aaron, man. Why does the world just shit on him all the time?
So, his wife, fucking star Aaron Goodwin, right? If you don't know who Aaron Goodwin is, he's always the one who gets, like, he's fucking Zach Bagel Bites is what Alyssa calls him. Always gets sent to, like, okay, you're gonna do this dark room by yourself and try to summon.
You're gonna go in first by yourself in the dark.
In a room full of spiders and try to summon Satan here, okay? And Aaron's like, what the fuck? You told me you'd just give me a bagel, bro. And so, anyway, his wife got busted for a murder for hire plot, and cops say she tried to pay a hitman to knock off her husband.
Crazy.
Yes.
Damn.
And so, she was arrested last week, booked on 2 charges, solicitation to commit murder and conspiracy to commit murder, after police said she had hatched a plan to kill Aaron while he was filming a show with Zach Bagels. Zach Bagels.
Zach Bagel.
So apparently she was messaging an inmate in a Florida prison
oh my God.
as that he was about to get out, and was saying she was messaging an inmate in Florida about trying to get out of her marriage, even though they got married like 2 or 3 years ago.
Wow.
So she tells this guy, am I a bad person because I chose to end his life, chose to end his existence and not divorce? And police say that Victoria provided information about Aaron's location and filming times in California where he was filming Ghost Adventures. And the cops say that Aaron's wife set aside $11,000 to $11,515 to pay the alleged hitman. And they say,
that with like tax or something? That's a very specific number.
I don't know, dude. But they say that the inmate was communicating with messaged another guy about the alleged plot, saying he's asleep right now in the hotel room. I need to know what's going on. Can I get an update? Was it done?
Oh my gosh.
And this allegedly happened back in October. And I mean, luckily Aaron is still alive, but it's still unclear about like what went down with the alleged hitman. But cops claim that they were specific messages about a $2,500 upfront payment.
It's a good mix of spooky and true crime.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, but the only reason police found this out and why the woman got arrested was because the police caught wind of this after correctional officers found the cell phone of the inmate.
Oh.
And so they searched through it. Yeah, they searched through it and
Poor
they found
Aaron,
these messages.
Man.
And so, like, of course, the woman denied about wanting to kill her husband, and she said that she was just daydreaming and fantasizing about like just leaving him living a life without him. So by like, okay,
it's
yeah,
very specific daydream, girl.
Yeah, no, honestly. So she said that she doesn't remember sending any of these messages, you know.
Well, they're there,
and that she doesn't want her husband to be killed. But obviously that's not true. Messages are there. Money was sent or not sent. I can't remember.
So I'm assuming they're like divorced or separated.
Well,
right?
Currently she's being held on a $100,000 bail, and it appears she's still in police custody. But they have an update saying that Zach, saying it's an emotional time for Aaron, and he's just trying to give him love and support. But the couple married, I got the date here. They married August 2022 at the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland.
Wow.
And he said that he thought he was in a happy marriage, and he's blindsided and devastated at the turn of the events. And
this is why I'm always like asking you, like, babe, please don't kill me. And you're like, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm like, well, he didn't think his wife was gonna kill him. You just never know.
So I got the story from TMZ. So if some of it seems like word per word, it's because I was trying to read it off the website. But that's because where I found it. So Jason Hawes updated the Conjuring page that I follow now, the new one. He updated it, posting that TMZ report about it. So I'm just I'm skimming through it and also reading it to you guys, but I'm not gonna kill you.
Good.
I don't have that power in me. You may piss me off sometimes the way that I piss you off, but I genuinely, no matter how angry I get, I cannot ever
and ever's real estate.
Evers and Evers real estate have that. That's just weird. That's weird, honestly.
That's gross. That's weird.
Disgusting. My father is the owner of Toaster Strudel. What does it say? Inventor of Toaster Strudel. Yeah, no, that's foul and that's weird. Like, how can you even live after that?
For real. Yeah. How is that not just like constantly in your head as something that you've done?
Or just doing it. Like, just being like, and then doing it and then just being like, oh, I just fucking killed someone. Like, how is that?
And then going on about your day and getting the mail and stuff. Like,
that's weird, dude. That's like literally, you're fucking insane.
And it's just as bad if you just stand there and watch it happen and not do anything to stop it. I'm talking to Lacey Fletcher's parents. We hate you.
Yo, Lacey's mom is just the fucking bitch. Lacey's dad,
he is just as bad.
Fucking bitch. Yeah, no, you're right. Okay.
Anyways,
yes,
we're gonna cuddle cats because we're sad now. And thank you for suggestion,
Jordan.
Thank you for oh my gosh. Thank you for your suggestion, Jordan. If you guys
good story, awful story.
If you guys want to hear something that you want to hear a story about, you can email us and then maybe we'll pick it and then cover it on the podcast.
And you can send it to whatsyourfavoritescarystory@gmail.com, or you can send it to whatsyourfavoritescarystory at Instagram.
You guys, she did my part. I think she just wants to go downstairs and watch soccer.
No, LAFC is just fucking sucking balls right now.
Right.
I'm telling you, we lost 5-2 last week. What's gonna happen this week? We were already losing.
My prediction is that we're losing 12-0.
That's impossible.
18 to -4.
If everyone on the team died and the other scheme was just fucking scoring,
then that score should be way higher than
just kicking the ball into the net, dude. No,
they're just taking turns and passing it back. The score should be like 804.
All the other soccer players in the LAFC, they're just like you know when you kill ants with the spray and they're just scattered everywhere. That's what ran through my mind. Of course. Anyway,
we're just daydreaming.
It
doesn't mean anything.
I don't remember.
It doesn't mean anything. We do not want to kill the LAFC soccer team.
No, of course not.
I promise.
No shit, dude. I mean, if they saw
to all the feds listening to this,
if they saw the closet, they'd probably think, "Oh, this woman has an obsession."
Yeah.
They walk in through the garage. Oh, of course, 100%.
For those that don't know, which is all of you, we have a giant LAFC flag in our garage.
Of course we do.
Yeah, of course we do.
It's the only soccer team we root for, that and Chivas and Mexico in general. And I guess USA if Mexico loses, but, you know.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Anyway,
have a great
bye.
week. We'll talk to you next week. And love you and stay spooky.
Love you.
Bye.